Well, you may be feeling the way I'm feeling these days. Where is the love? In a world where people can't stop talking about how things make them feel, it often feels as if our compassion for our fellow man is nowhere to be found. Day by day, issue by issue, our shared effort to build a better world increasingly yields a society where we are more isolated from our friends and our neighbors than ever before. Our public dialogue about how to provide the dignity of work for the most vulnerable Americans has produced a toxic divide where half of America has been labeled undeserving of America's promise and the other half as deplorable underbelly of American entitlement. Now, our policy proposals to combat gun violence has also created a political duopoly where politicians on the left opposed to the Second Amendment label law-abiding Second Amendment advocates an un-American terrorist-inclined gang, and the politicians on the right in favor of protecting our Second Amendment rights have labeled millions of Americans fascist, attempting to ruin the nation we love. Additionally, our multi-generational struggle to combat poverty and despair, hunger and homelessness, it inevitably devolves into a food fight about who should wear the blame that distracts us from the work required to solve the problem. And absent from all of this is the human touch that should inform our policies, drive our conversations, and ground our society in the love and shared purpose we desperately need. Now, don't get me wrong, we remain a society and a nation committed to doing what we can to help others. In spite of the Titanic-sized hole that the COVID-19 pandemic blew in the hull of the global economy, charitable giving in 2020 increased nearly 8% here in America. While millions of Americans struggled with food insufficiency and housing insecurity, pet adoption rates surprisingly went through the roof as well, as puppies and kittens across America found their forever family. But the money we give to our favorite charity often does not require us to talk to the people in need. It does not require us to come face to face with the pain and suffering that inflames our passions and leaves us at each other's necks. The love we pour into our four-legged family members, it is priceless and eternal. But in its purest form, it's designed to increase the enjoyment within our own home. It is not designed to uplift our whole community. Now, what is the virtue of lamenting the businesses destroyed by riots across this nation in the aftermath of racial upheaval if we do not reach out to those businesses? If we do not seek out the people who have been personally impacted? Now, if our concern rests solely with the building that has been burned and does not extend to the lives that were destroyed, what is the value of talking about society's violence in a vacuum if the extent of our compassion for those that are impacted is to use their face as a prop on TV to argue about the issue without recognizing the life they lived, or the fact that irrespective of the mistakes they may have made along the way, they were here, they were loved, and they were important? Now, we can confront our shared struggles. We can re-engage our fellow man by reconnecting with pain that ignites our spirit. We can ensure that our passions align with our purpose instead of inflaming our divisions. Or put another way, we may have fallen out of love with one another, but we can reclaim the love that inspired the dream that was America.